Hello, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is a hot topic video. On my channel, I cover celebrity crime and hot topics. It seems like it's happening more often now, but this is close to home. Slim Thug's apartment. Slim Thug is a rapper. He is from Houston, Texas, the north side of Houston, Texas. According to TMZ, his apartment was burglarized in Houston, jewelry and cash stolen. Now, he's been on social media a lot lately. And of course, when you do that, you bring more attention to yourself. And he does talk about how a lot of these celebrities out here that's going broke, is just no excuse for that. It's no reason for that. You know, he's still getting paid and he don't have to work if he don't want to. That's what I gather from what he's been talking about lately. All right, rapper Slim Thug's apartment in Houston has been burglarized with thieves swiping jewelry, cash, and more, TMZ has learned. A spokesperson for the Houston Police Department tells TMZ Monday around 11 p.m. security at an apartment complex discovered the break-in. Cops say security spotted a door that had been forced open, and multiple items from inside the apartment were taken, including jewelry, cash, and other valuables. We're told Slim Thug, whose legal name is Stavey Jerome Thomas, wasn't at the apartment during the burglary. Now, I think he has multiple residences. And ooh, he looks good on that picture. I'm not typically attracted to Slim Thug, but ooh, that's a good picture. Houston police responded to the scene, took a report, and spoke to Slim Thug over the phone. No arrests have been made yet, and police say the investigation is ongoing. We've reached out to reps for Slim Thug. So far, no word back. Does Slim Thug have reps? See if we can look at this little video. All right, that little video, they could have kept that. I hate when TMZ does that mess. Like, why you got me clicking on that? That wasn't nothing. And then I had to watch that ad too, which I wasn't paying attention to, and I ain't buying the product. So wasting your time. All right, and more TMZ news. Russell Brand charged with rape, sexual assault. He was hugely popular at one time, so most people know him, and he also was married to Katy Perry. The comedian was hit with 1 count of rape, 1 count of indecent assault, 1 count of oral rape, and 2 counts of sexual assault. This according to London's Metropolitan Police Service. Detectives began investigating the comedian after a series of allegations were made against him in 2023, and they now allege Brand committed a series of assaults between 1999 and 2005. Now, he has come out later on saying that, he was a mess back in the day. He also said that he, wanted to be famous so that he could, have access to all the sex he wanted, but he never raped anyone. Russell Brand, if you did alcohol and narcotics or substances, you don't know what you did. I'm not gonna say he did it, but I don't know. We don't know. We weren't there. But one thing he did say was, I guess after the Me Too movement, now people are coming against institutions or basically people that they know have a lot of money and claiming, rape and sexual assault, which could be true. 2 things could be true at the same time. So I don't know. But hopefully if he's innocent, he'll be proven innocent. Everybody got to be careful. It's a new day.
To me, I've always told you guys that when I was young and single, before I had my wife and family, who were just about a shot over there, my beautiful children, I was a fool, man. I was a fool before I lived in the light of the Lord. I was a drug addict, a sex addict, and an imbecile. But what I never was a rapist. I've never engaged in non-consensual activity. I pray that you can see that by looking in my eyes. I want to thank all of you for your continuing support. I want to let you know that our show will be on Rumble on Monday. Thanks for your support there. And of course, I'm now going to have the opportunity to defend these charges in court, and I'm incredibly grateful for that. In the meantime, you lot, stay free. And we...
Not stay free. Let's hope. So, this story about the black teen that stabbed another teen at a track meet. There's some different things going around, but here it says family of teen who allegedly stabbed, another 2 death at track meet, says narrative being spread is false. The family of Karmelo Anthony, who allegedly told police he stabbed another teen at a high school track meet because he put his hands on me, has raised more than $150,000 for his defense, while the victim's family has raised more than $250,000. Wow. After an altercation at a track meet left one teen deceased and another under arrest, the family of the alleged attacker, who purportedly told police, "I'm not alleged, I did it," after the incident, says the accusations against him are false, unjust, and harmful. The statement comes as part of a fundraiser through Give, Send, Go, set up by the family of Karmelo Anthony, 17, who is being held on a charge of first-degree offing for the stabbing Austin Metcalf, also 17, on April 2nd. The narrative being spread is false, unjust, and harmful. The family's fundraiser states, "As a family of faith, we are deeply grateful for all your support during this trying period. Your prayers and assistance mean more to us now more than ever." At the time of this publication, the fundraiser has amassed more than $150,000, with people reporting the funds are to go toward his legal defense. Talking with NBC affiliate KXAS on Friday, Anthony's defense attorney, Derek Walpole, confirmed that Anthony is claiming the offing was in self-defense. "I don't have any reason to disbelieve that, but I need to develop facts, talk to people, and figure out what's going on before I make any statements about what I think happened," he told the outlet. "I don't have any reason to think it wasn't self-defense at this time." Walpole has requested a hearing next week to try and lower Anthony's $1 million bond. The suspect is currently being held in Collin County Jail. When police arrived on the scene, they reported in their arrest affidavit that Anthony allegedly confessed to his involvement in Metcalf's death right away. Now, why did he do that? "I was protecting myself," he said, per the probable cause. I guess because he's 17, "I was protecting myself," he said, per the probable cause affidavit seen by People. Officers reported that he was fully cooperative as he was taken off the field for questioning. One detail in the report came when one officer reportedly referred to Anthony as an alleged suspect. To this, the teen allegedly responded, "I'm not alleged, I did it." Officers wrote that Anthony became emotional as they led him to the police vehicle, telling them, per the affidavit, "He put his hands on me. I told him not to." The affidavit also states that the suspect at that moment made another spontaneous statement and asked if what happened could be considered self-defense. According to ABC News reporting, Anthony was emotional and crying hysterically when he was being taken from the venue by police. He reportedly asked police if Metcalf was going to be okay. Metcalf's death. Anthony and Metcalf were both at Kirkendall Stadium on April 2nd at 10 a.m. when the altercation occurred, per a press release from the Frisco Police Department. According to local CBS affiliate KBTX, there were nearly 30 student witnesses to the event. Names redacted on documents seen by the outlet, as well as a half dozen coaches. The alleged attack happened during an event involving 5 different Texas schools. One witness told police, per the affidavit viewed by Law and Crime, that the tragic incident began when Metcalf told Anthony that he couldn't sit under the tent where he was and needed to move to another part of the bleachers. Anthony was purportedly sitting in a section allocated for Memorial High School students. He was a student at Centennial High School. The witness told police that after he was asked to move by Metcalf, Anthony allegedly reached into his bag and replied, "Touch me and see what happens." The witness said that Metcalf then did touch Anthony, pushing him, per KXAS, at which point the suspect allegedly prodded Metcalf to punch him, per Law and Crime. Wow. At this point, according to the witness, Metcalf grabbed Anthony and the suspect stabbed Austin once in the chest and then ran away. Police reported finding the weapon in the bleachers. KXAS reports that Metcalf grabbed his chest after the stabbing, per the affidavit, as he lay dying in his twin brother's arms. That part is really sad. You lose your twin. People reports that police arrived to find coaches and trainers performing CPR and other life-saving measures on the victim. Speaking with the New York Post, Anthony's father, Andrew, said that his son was provoked, telling the outlet he was not the aggressor, he was not the one who started it, he works 2 jobs, he's an A student, has a 3.7 GPA. Everyone has already made their assumptions about my son, but he's not what they're making him out to be, he continued, sharing his own sympathy for Metcalf's family. "I feel bad for the other parents and family, and words can't explain how both people's families have been affected by this tragedy. Metcalf's family has also started a fundraiser to cover their own expenses, raising more than $250,000 at the time of this report. He was a bright young man with a great future ahead of him. His father, Jeff, wrote of the teen athlete. He was a leader of men. His smile would light up the room. His passion for football was unbelievable, he continued. Voted team MVP this past season and carried a 4.0 GPA. He was looking forward to taking his game to the next level. His commitment. Okay, so I'm done with this story. So yeah, my friend had sent me this story, and initially we both thought, man, these kids are violent. Like, why are you walking around with a knife? But then as the story kept coming out, we're like, oh, so this boy, the white boy, and this is also close to home, because I'm in Texas. The white boy approached the black boy and told him where he could and could not sit in a stadium. And thank God there were lots of witnesses, including the white boy's twin brother. And I haven't heard the white boy say that, my brother didn't approach him, or that Karmelo was the aggressor, or that Karmelo just walked up to the white boy, because I can't find his name, Austin Metcalf, and just started, just stabbing him for no reason. So why is Austin Metcalf's family raising all this money? If Karmelo is in the wrong, why is Metcalf's family raising all this money? To prosecute Karmelo for defending himself? I'm confused. You let me know what you think. Drop down in the comments. This is going to be a highly publicized story, so I may continue to follow this as much as possible. I feel bad for the Metcalf family, and I feel bad for the Anthony family. Because if it is true that, what if Karmelo did not have a knife, then they probably would have just gotten into a scuffle. Or Karmelo would have gotten jumped by the twins or anyone else that, felt like Karmelo was not sitting where he was supposed to sit. But who are you to say where this young man should or should not sit with all these schools at a track meet? I mean, like, seriously? This is sad, And you know how, even though you're not supposed to judge, you can look at somebody and tell, oh yeah, that's a thug right there. This little boy Karmelo Anthony does not look like a thug. But, I can't go by just what he looked like. All right, so Terrence Howard did a recent podcast with PBD Podcast, and he kind of outed Puffy for trying to groom him or trying to get him in an uncompromising position. We know Diddy is currently in prison in New York awaiting trial for trafficking, all kind of actual crimes. So things have kind of quieted down with everybody. Every time you look around, coming out saying Diddy did something to them, and then all of a sudden, here comes Terrence Howard in this podcast talking about Diddy.
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. And he's sitting there just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to fuck you. That's what my assistant said.
Wow.
I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it. So now no more communication. Now you know to be hands off with somebody. A number of producers come in and make the approach. And you threaten to punch them in the mouth. Or threaten to knock their head off for talking to you or looking at you like you're a woman.
What did he say? Hold on.
And I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it. So now no more communication. Now you know to be hands off with somebody. A number of producers come in and make the approach. And you threaten to punch them in the mouth.
Okay.
Or threaten to knock their head off for talking to you or looking at you like you're a woman. When you approach a real man, about his
biting they
masculinity.
look,
You're gonna get a real
biting their bottom lip. Look at that Terrence up and down biting their bottom lip. Boy, these little nasty mofos. Here, let me let him finish.
reaction back.
So first of all, I want to say I love Terrence Howard's sweater. I love when they did the Best Man series, the last one. When I say I wanted to eat Terrence alive every time he came on that screen, what he was wearing, his clothes, my God, I love the way Terrence Howard dressed. And I don't know why I just want to drop every time I see a sweater like this. I don't know why. And I bought my husband one, and he still ain't wore it yet. Don't get me started. But anyway, I was telling my friend, all this good talent that Terrence Howard has going to waste because the people in power are slime balls. Hollywood is just the devil, and people will sell their souls, sell themselves, sell out their people just to be famous, and you're not even making the money. And of course, Hollywood is crumbling down. The music industry is crumbling down. Social media is exposing everyone. Like Cat Williams said, everyone will be exposed. In 2025, everyone will be exposed. And he was right. And it's sad. It's just hard. And I'd be wondering if my mom felt this way because, they had the Inquirer. And she would always pick up the Inquirer when I was little. And I would be reading it too. But they would talk about all the celebrities, talking about how Cary Grant was gay and, exposing Michael Jackson and exposing, Vanna White and all that stuff back then. So I wonder if my mom felt this way. But she would always tell me, like she told me all the celebrities was gay. She told me this 30 years ago about all the old time celebrities and old time Hollywood people. Most of the men were gay, It was just a scandalous thing to talk about at the time, of course, not so much now, but yeah, to some people. But it's not, I don't care. It's not a big deal to me, but it's still always a topic of conversation. Like you're always trying to expose someone for being gay or whatever. It's like, okay. But they're not only exposing people for being gay, they're exposing people for everything. So yeah, I feel bad for Terrence Howard because he is a great talent and his talent is going to waste because he's not putting out. And it's not just him, it's a lot. And y'all I'm gonna go ahead and check out this PBD podcast and listen to his whole thing because he talks about how a lot of people who are celebrities, popular, famous, top of the Hollywood chain have put out. Will Smith. Okay, I'm not gonna say that. But the ones that fall off, the ones that you don't hear from anymore, they are not putting out anymore. And then he dropped something. He was like, yeah, the ladies that win the Oscars, I'm like, hey, you better leave Halle Berry alone. It's been rumors out there that Halle Berry probably didn't put out a whole lot to get what she got. But I'm at the point now where I'm like, okay, and if it's the norm in Hollywood to have to do that, and you choose to do that, and you are able to get out of it, get the success, get the money, and move on with your life, and so say survive or quote unquote survive, because a lot of the older celebs now that are living comfortably, they survive the industry. So I don't know what y'all think about this, but I've done stories on Diddy in the past. Diddy is in jail, is in prison or jail or wherever the heck he is, and he might not ever get out because they keep adding charges and adding charges. Cassie, his number one accuser, is supposed to be testifying soon, so we shall see what happens. But yeah, unfortunately, thank God Terrence Howard, his assistant told him what it was, so he wouldn't get raped or assaulted or something slipped in his cocktail. But yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think. DMX passed away 4 years ago today. Wow. Time is flying by. May he rest in peace. His wife, I forgot her name, she did an interview with Carlos King not too long ago. If y'all want to check that out, I forgot her name. But if I find it, which I can find it, I'll link it in the description box if y'all want to take a look at her interview. It was very interesting because she talks about how her and DMX met and, the man he was when they met. But talented rapper, gone too soon. Okay, this was a shocker. Former, and I know I gotta find a before photo, because y'all know how they be aging, but former Melrose Place actress Amy Locane talks life after prison. I think I missed this. Melrose Place alum Amy Locane finished serving roughly 6.5 years behind bars for a DWI crash in 2010 that offed a 60-year-old woman a mere 5 days before Christmas, and she's speaking to us exclusively about her experience. First incarcerated from 2013 to 2015, Locane was plucked from her life and again locked up from 2020 to 2024 after her first sentence was deemed too lenient. Wow. Today, the actress reflects on feeling very raw to be back in society after being so deprived for years. Let me check out the link, guys. All right, this is an Us Weekly news story.
Now, Amy has served roughly 6.5 years behind bars for a DWI crash in 2010 that killed a 60-year-old woman. She was first incarcerated from 2013 to 2015, but she was plucked from her life and again locked up from 2020 to 2024 after her first sentence was deemed too lenient. She told us in the new issue, "It feels very raw to be back into society. I'm looking at the world with fresh eyes." Now, during her darkest days at the correctional facility for women in Union Township, New Jersey, she looked for peace anywhere she could find it. She recalled, "This bright fluorescent light gets you up at 6 or 7 a.m., so I'd get up at 5 a.m. to have my alone time." 7 days a week from noon to 6 p.m., she worked in the kitchen, earning $5 a day. Her responsibilities? Cooking, feeding the masses, and cleaning hundreds of pots. For the mother of two, the most difficult thing about being incarcerated was being separated from her daughters, Paige, who is 18, and Avery, who is 16. She tells us, "Teenagers don't really talk a lot, so we'd be on the phone saying nothing, but at least we're together." Amy's been sober since 2010 and leads a quiet life outside of Princeton, New Jersey. She attends a local Presbyterian church and works the front desk at a doctor's office and isn't ruling out a return to acting. And despite taking steps towards normalcy, Amy still struggles with the pain she caused her loved ones and the family of the woman who died. She tells us it's a very, very, very heavy reality to live with. Every day when I'm praying or doing daily devotionals, I try to keep her in mind.
So I do remember how she looked. She was pretty popular back then, and I mean, I had no idea, but I guess that's what happened to her. Drinking, not to say that she was an alcoholic, but probably drinking and driving. Unfortunately, someone lost their life and she had to do her time, and she looks bad. Ooh. But y'all know how they age. So anyway, it's good that she's remorseful. She did her time. She came out on the other side. Hopefully her and her kids get counseling, have counseling or whatever, because that's horrible to be a teenager and your mom has to go sit in prison because of a bad decision. And a lot of us are lucky because we know we've drank and drove, had too much and got behind the wheel. I know I'm lucky and I'm blessed to, not have had worse situations than I have had. But yeah. Did any of y'all watch Melrose Place? They used to be my show. I used to watch 90210 and Melrose Place, and I can remember vividly the first time Melrose Place came on. Look at Grant. Grant, no, he was cute. I wasn't as big of an Andrew Shue fan as I was Grant. What was his name? Courtney Thorne Smith. Heather Locklear didn't last long on there either. These celebrities be going through it, y'all. And I totally forgot Vanessa Williams was on there. Totally forgot. How did I forget Vanessa Williams was on Melrose Place? Girl, my mind be going in and out. Y'all know as a kid, y'all remember everything. But how did I forget Vanessa Williams was on Melrose Place? But anyway, prayers out to Amy Locane and the family of the grandmother who lost her life in that tragic accident. All right, well, make sure you drop down in the comments and let me know what you think about Slim Thug and his Houston apartment being robbed, Russell Brand and his current charges, the families of the teens, Karmelo Anthony, and what is that boy's name? And Austin Metcalf, and the tragic loss of the twin son, Terrence Howard, and his accusations about Diddy. There's a lot. A lot of my content is centered around Ernesto Williams, who was married to Shirley Strawberry, the co-host of Steve Harvey on the Steve Harvey Morning Show. I cover more than that. I'm not at this moment a full-time content creator, so I don't get to record. I don't get to upload as much as I would like to, but I definitely want to, talk about and share my views on more than just Ernesto Williams. Ernesto Williams is going to be in court April 30th for his final plea date, his final plea hearing. Also, guys, I'm on the move at times, so if you hear cars in the background, please excuse me. And if you have suggestions because I'm on my phone, so if you have suggestions for getting that background noise out of here, I'm open to suggestions. Thank you. Hopefully you guys enjoy my hot topics, where I talk about celebrity crime for the most part. And if you like it, please hit the like button, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel for more. I'm going to try to do these more regularly. I said I was going to, and sometimes with me working, I don't have time to get that 30 minutes in to record, and then, more time to edit and actually put it out. And sometimes I like to premiere it. So that takes time as well, So anyway, any support is appreciated. Thanks for watching. Bye.